She had been in love with her stepbrother Damian Sterling for 5 years, the possessive husband and obsessive alpha male who ruled as a billionaire CEO in the cutthroat world of dark romance. By day, they played the part of innocent siblings in their family's luxurious New York penthouse, surrounded by Cartier jewelry and Van Cleef necklaces that gleamed under crystal chandeliers. But at night, hidden from everyone, including their parents under the same roof, they tangled in forbidden passion, his dominant touch claiming her as his submissive little wife in a marriage of convenience that felt like enemies to lovers turned forced marriage. Their parents only knew she had a mysterious boyfriend she never brought home, unaware of the age gap and grumpy sunshine dynamic that fueled their secret. She adored Damien so much that she convinced herself it didn't matter if their relationship stayed hidden forever. They could escape to some far-off place, board his private jet, and tie the knot abroad, living a luxury lifestyle of Italian villas and yacht parties. But all those dreams shattered 2 weeks ago when she overheard his cruel conversation with his friends. They teased him about her, his stepmother's daughter, questioning why he hadn't dumped her yet after playing around, revealing it was all revenge for her mom marrying into the Sterling family and stealing his mother's place. Her face drained of color, her mind buzzing as she trembled uncontrollably, refusing to leave until she heard Damien's indifferent, brutal response he needed to drag it out to make her suffer more. Laughter erupted from the room, but outside, she froze in icy despair. It turned out he never liked her. Calling her his girlfriend was just part of the twisted revenge plot in this dark romance filled with jealousy and possession. Her mom still needed to live in the Sterling home, so she couldn't expose the truth and cause a scandal. The only escape was to flee the house and him entirely. She applied for study abroad and announced it casually in the quiet living room, her voice light as a droplet in a still pond. Her mom beamed with joy mixed with reluctance, surprised at how quickly it was approved, and started packing her bags right away, fretting over her first time far from home. She mentioned contacting an old friend whose son was in London, reminding her of their childhood arranged betrothal. Perfect for support, or maybe more if they clicked, but at least friends. She nodded agreeably, and her mom was shocked, realizing this meant she'd finally broken up with that secretive boyfriend. Her stepdad slammed the table in approval, declaring the guy never seemed serious since he wouldn't meet them. Just then, Damien strode in, dressed in a sleek black shirt and pants, his tall, elegant frame exuding lazy opulence like the mafia boss he resembled in business dealings. Her body trembled as she stood and called him brother, and he hummed meaningfully before tossing his car keys and heading upstairs. That night, after a hasty dinner, she retreated to her room, showered, and drifted to sleep. At midnight, as always, he slipped in, his scorching breath on her neck, soft lips pressing coolly against her skin, waking her fully. She stiffened, shoving him away in frantic resistance. In the darkness, he smirked coldly, his voice lazy and mocking about the family trying to set her up with someone else, accusing her of wanting to freeload after years together. She knew he misunderstood, but offered no explanation, and his face darkened in the silence. He pulled her into his arms, reminding her sternly that he'd forbidden her from dating anyone else. She could only be his. Feeling his heat behind her, she lied about being on her period and uncomfortable to avoid conflict. His expression softened slightly, though he frowned, noting it had just ended recently. Reluctantly, he agreed not to touch her, holding her tight as his steady breathing filled the air. She lay awake, tormented. The morning alarm at 8 pulled her from dreams, and he was gone, as per their agreement to avoid detection by their parents. He always left by 5 after sneaking in at midnight. This routine had lasted 5 full years, but soon they'd be just siblings, no more secrets. Dressing and heading downstairs, she spotted a stranger on the sofa. Her mom waved her over enthusiastically, introducing the woman as Damien's girlfriend. The woman stood politely, extending a hand with a curved smile, mentioning how Damien often praised his sister. Her hand shook slightly as she glanced at Damien but said nothing, turning to pour water. He entered the kitchen, wrapping an arm around her waist, leaning in to kiss her, but she dodged, whispering about his girlfriend outside. He raised a brow, pecking her cheek anyway, explaining the woman was just a childhood friend back from abroad, roped in to fake a relationship and fend off his dad's marriage pressure. He insisted she knew who his real girlfriend was. She listened quietly, expressionless, nodding casually. His eyes flashed with surprise at her indifference. Usually, even a love letter from another girl would make her jealous to tears, her eyes swelling shut. She'd hide her pain, fearing their taboo love could never be public, sulking alone under covers. He'd coax the truth out eventually. But this time, her flat reaction puzzled him. He started to ask, but she grabbed the water and left without giving him a chance. Breakfast proceeded normally, with the woman seated beside Damien, chatting intimately about old times. Abroad for years, she liked runny fried eggs, so he swapped his with hers, and she shyly offered him a bite of hers. He glanced at her, but she focused on her porridge, seemingly oblivious. When she reached for a tissue, he bit into the egg she'd touched. Seeing her about to leave, the woman called out, suggesting they join her and Damien on their date, since it was raining. Her stepdad insisted Damien drive her for safety. Reluctantly, she agreed and headed to the garage first. Her destination was the visa office, which would reveal her plans to leave, but she resigned herself, let him know it was set. Soon, the pair joined her in the car, the woman unusually choosing the back seat, chatting her up deliberately. She responded half-heartedly as rain pattered louder. The woman leaned close, whispering that she knew about their non-sibling bond. But it was doomed. Damien felt something for her, and she could steal him away if she wanted. Her heart jolted. She glanced at the woman, who smirked provocatively and set a 1-minute alarm on her phone. It rang, and she faked a call, tearing up about her sick dog, begging Damien to drive her home. He pulled over in the pouring rain, hesitating at her tears, then told her to get out and cab it since the woman's place was out of the way. The woman thrust an umbrella at her. Her gaze flicked between them. Silently, she opened the door. Rain leaked through the umbrella's holes, soaking her instantly. The downpour made cabs impossible, so she ran with her bag overhead for half an hour to the visa office, arriving drenched and disheveled. After handling the visa, still no cab, she walked another hour home in the rain, collapsing feverish on her bed. Nightmares plagued her. Monsters chasing her through bizarre landscapes, sweating coldly. She woke briefly to find the monster was Damien, holding her, spooning medicine tenderly, his voice laced with concern, urging her to drink so she'd heal. Unsure if real or dream, she swallowed and slept again. Fever broke later, bedside empty except his vibrating phone. She checked it, his friends tagging him in a group chat, praising his acting for ditching a billion-dollar deal to care for his little sister when she got sick, speeding through red lights. They joked if he truly liked her. His reply liking her was impossible this lifetime. It was all an act to make her fall harder, so the reveal would crush her more. Each word chilled her heart. 5 years for this? He was heartless. Exhausted, her hand dropped. Damien entered with hot water, face paling as he snatched the phone, voice tense asking what she'd seen. She bowed her head, hiding red eyes, hoarsely questioning if anything was off limits. She couldn't fathom why he prolonged the charade when she was already irreparably hooked. Didn't it tire him? Enough, his revenge succeeded. She was in agony. Unaware of her thoughts, he assumed illness soured her mood, hugging and cooing apologies, revealing a surprise Denmark allowed non-blood siblings to marry. He'd arrange immigration and a wedding. Words they'd whispered countless nights now left her numb, a dead calm in her heart. No future for them. In 10 days, he'd be gone from her life and vice versa. Once recovered, she tallied every expense the Sterlings spent on her over 10 years. Tuition, living costs, totaling $3 million. Her dad's inheritance and old house were worth over $2 million. Her savings covered the rest, but short $10,000. As a photography student, she posted online for gigs, taking all weddings, graduations. She worked on to dusk, back aching, no complaints. Her mom had explained the stepdad was divorced before meeting her. Normal love, no scandal. They never coveted sterling wealth. She planned to repay to clear misunderstandings about her mom, even if leaving. After 5 or 6 days, scraping 30,000, a big job came: photograph a birthday party for 20,000. The client warned the subject was picky, full satisfaction required. She agreed eagerly. Arriving with gear, she recognized the venue. The woman in a princess gown and crown, beside Damien in black suit. Her heart quaked. Frowning at her tired face, Damien questioned why she'd take such work. Her dream was top photographer. Didn't the family provide? She retorted she was adult, liked the job. His face cooled. The woman intervened, saying he worried she'd overwork, pulling him inside to test her skills. The night was relentless. No breaks, cameras sparking from overuse for 1,000 shots. Unsatisfied, the woman demanded aerial views. Lugging heavy equipment up 3 floors, she set up overlooking the stage. Amid cheers, Damien presented a family heirloom necklace, fastening it on the woman, who smiled triumphantly upward before hugging him. She knew it was deliberate flaunting. The woman fed him champagne she'd sipped, danced intimately, drawing wedding speculation, whined about sore legs for massages. Cards filled with such photos. Numb, she snapped as the woman tiptoed for a kiss. Damien paused 3 seconds, then pulled her closer, deepening it passionately. Onlookers cheered for the couple's impending wedding, including her stepdad joking about toasting soon. She captured the climax crisply. They parted. The woman waved from below, ending the shoot. Downstairs, her mom and stepdad arrived late from a delay, chatting warmly with the woman. Stepdad patted Damien proudly, urging to invite her family to discuss engagement since the necklace was given. The woman blushed happily, glancing at Damien, then her, suggesting she'd be bridesmaid. Rubbing sore hands, she hadn't heard, but her mom nudged her. Lifting her head blankly, she apologized. Busy, couldn't attend, but wished brother and sister-in-law happiness forever. Smiles all around except Damien's darkening gaze, his faint smile fading. Exhausted, she bathed at home, then pushed open her door. Strong hands slammed her against the corridor wall in a storm of kisses. Nearly screaming, she bit back, dodging futilely. He gripped harder, pinning her chin. Struggling in terror as footsteps ascended, she hissed he was mad. Red-eyed, he sneered coldly, daring her to scream and expose them. Footsteps paused, descended. She wrenched free, breathless, demanding what craziness possessed him. His eyes shadowed, accusing her of the madness for calling him brother and the woman's sister-in-law. Crouching, she puzzled why he cared about details in his revenge scheme. Wasn't their kiss proof of impending marriage? He insisted it was acting, the kiss because parents watched. He seemed genuinely angry, words rushed. Unsure if real or fake, she nodded sarcastically, calling him expert actor, wondering when the play ended. She'd been shattered. Wasn't that enough? Unsaid words hung. Tears flowed uncontrollably. She was done, no energy left for his game. Wouldn't he release her? His heart panicked at her weary, heartbroken look. First time in 5 years. Usually vibrant around him, fearing he'd doubt their love. Though clueless why, he hugged her, apologizing for rage over sister-in-law, vowing never again. He leaned for a gentle kiss. She pushed away, lying her period lingered from the fever. Concern flashed. He didn't force, hugging her to bed tenderly, shutting lights. She fell asleep instantly from fatigue. He stared at her peaceful face under dim light, memories swirling till 3, kissing her forehead before dozing. Curtains open, morning sun woke him. She slept on, arm numb under her. Clock read 9, he'd overslept their routine. Panicking over family breakfast time, he slipped out lightly toward his room. Halfway, her mom appeared at stairs, stunned seeing him in pajamas from her daughter's room. He glanced at his rumpled collar, heart pounding. Her mom's suspicion grew, questioning why from there. Brain freezing, the door opened behind. Her, dressed neatly, calmly greeting, saying he'd woken her for breakfast, why rush off? Misunderstanding cleared. Mom relaxed, waving them to eat. She hummed, linking arms with Mom downstairs. There sat the woman, waving cheerily to discuss wedding plans with Damien. Mom laughed, saying his sister, why mind? From now on, just sister. Nothing to mind, she sat, eating silently as the woman quizzed Damien on lawn versus beach wedding, diamond or gem rings. Head down, she ignored his replies. Finishing, phone buzzed. 20,000 transfer from the woman. Lifting eyes met provocative smile. Message followed, loved the photos, especially kiss ones, would show Damien. Her work wouldn't waste. She replied, received, accepted funds. Account hit exactly 3 million, she smiled softly. While they ate unnoticed, she slipped upstairs, changed, and left in a car, meeting girlfriends for farewell. Arriving at noon club, they chatted, reluctant about her 3-year study abroad, settling in UK, likely not returning. Shocked, they asked about Damien. Weren't they planning marriage? She'd confided in them over years, the hard secret love. Tugging lips, she said she'd let go, no longer liked him. Though said lightly, they knew her pain, supporting better, no fear of mom's heartbreak. Plenty UK guys. One wanted video calls to see sights like feeding pigeons. Their chatter brought her first real smile. New life ahead, no need dwelling on past. Next days, Damien absent. She didn't care, spending time with mom, shopping, photos, cherished meals. Mom shared solo living tips. Time passed warmly, plainly. 5 days before leaving, Mom accompanied stepdad on business. Alone, Aunt called Dad's grave, relocating for government plans. Handle it. Mom and Sterling family, already gossiped about, didn't want more trouble for her. She'd go solo. She arranged a prime new plot, heading to retrieve ashes. At door, bumped into long-absent Damien. Learning destination, he frowned. Gripping her hand, hadn't she seen him as boyfriend? Her dad was his too, why not call him? How could she handle alone? Get in, he'd join. His solemn words blurred true from false. Unable to argue, time pressing, she boarded his car. Midway, Dieter to pick someone, heart sank seeing the woman. Wanted to question bringing irrelevant person to dad's ashes, inseparable? But urgent, swallowed words. To new sight, she walked ahead silently, hugging urn. All set for burial, his phone rang. Frowning at caller, he stepped out. As she placed urn, woman blocked, sneeringly. Damien promised sunset viewing. Dropping her was convenience. She didn't know, didn't care, wanted dad rested. Ignoring, proceeding. Woman, and used to dismissal, grabbed angrily. Prized urn she snatched, smashing it downstairs. Shattering bang, pieces tumbling, ashes scattering gray-white. Sanity snapped dad. Rushing down crying, kneeling to grasp, but wind gust extinguished hope, blowing remains away. She clawed desperately, failing. This was dad reduced to ashes, now couldn't even guard that. Fury blazed. Rising, she slapped the woman hard. Those ashes were dad's last worldly trace, destroying spirits damned to hell. Cheeks swelled. Woman raged to retaliate, spotting returning Damien. Feigned stumble, tumbling stairs. Unaware of prelude, Damien rushed, cradling woman. What did you do? Ask what she did. First time he saw her hysterical, tear-streaked, anger froze. Woman sobbed into him, accidentally knocked urn. Wind took all. She pushed me downstairs, blood paid debt? Seeing shards, his heart tightened. Wanted comfort, but words twisted she didn't mean to. One word, exhausting her strength. He tried explaining. Woman cried, clutching sleeve, hurts, leg broken? Glancing at her, he chose lifting woman, striding away. Staff brought new jar. She carefully placed palm's remnant ashes inside, kowtowing heavily before grave dad. Sorry unfilial, loved wrong, failed protecting you. Sorry leaving, years away, can't visit. 3 kowtows, lifting head, flock of mournful crows flew. Red blood trickled from brow, past red eyes, falling like soul's bloody tears. Dusk, she left cemetery alone home. Downstairs, burned love diaries with his name, trashed couple items bought secretly, shredded sneaky photos. Done, returned room. Door shut as downstairs opened him. Locked, lights off, curled in bed. Soon knocking open, can explain. Ignored, tears flowing. Explain what? Not revenge tool. Or choosing woman after she smashed dad's ashes. Knocking stopped, phone buzzed explanations. Viewed profile, blocked, deleted him. All night, ignored outside noises. Next day, hearing mom opened, hugging her. Mom puzzled but patted back, cooing like childhood. Sleepless Damien watched silently, left downstairs. Following days, to avoid entanglement, slept in mom's room. Days packing luggage, nights embracing, sharing secrets. Mom's arms brought rare peace. Night before leaving, wanted mom's bed. Mom insisted rest well. Endless talk might tire. Alone, stared at dark ceiling. Midnight, lock clicked, him with spare key. Circling her in arms, still mad at brother? Wrong, forgive? 3 days Cold War driving him insane. Silent, eyes shut. Hearing shallow breaths, he sighed helplessly. Knowing her rough days, no push, kissed forehead softly. Sleepless, morning his phone rang, woman's name. Shook him awake, handed it. Groggy answered, moments later, released waist, sat up abruptly. Hanging, turned gently calling her. Don't let go. Voice faint and dark, toneless. Thinking forgiven, hummed left. Before door, sudden panic. Turned to huddled shadow, wait, back soon to accompany. She needed no company, wouldn't wait. Over. Hearing car start outside, lights on. Dressed, washed, packed as usual. Mom knocked for breakfast. Ate obediently. Saw stepdad directing staff loading her luggage. Last case going, remembered back to emptied room. Drawer, bank card, breakup letter. Placed in his room, visible on return. This time she ended it first. Downstairs, mom's soft call, hurry or miss plane. Responded, descended. Outside car waited. Bid elders farewell, boarded to airport. Behind, mom's choked voice, care for self. Pocket has betrothed's number, call if need. Chase dreams, no home worries. Window down, red-eyed waving till figures vanished. Lifted gaze outside, sunny day, future bright, like her wondrous life ahead. She's mine.